From the world of business to the world of acting, we've been joined by an Indian actor who's worked in Hindi television. Started off with Suvreen Google and then went on to do a lot of shows on TV. He worked on Sony TV. Also made his cinematic debut alongside Amitabh Bachchan. Joining us today to talk about his next venture, Aakhri Sach, is Shivin Narang. Shivin, welcome to TSB.
Thank you so much, and thank you, Neil, for the introduction. And yes, it's been my second time in Dubai for work.
Okay.
I have been here with my family, but last time I was here for hosting Nach Baliye,
Oh,
and I
really?
judged it, and I was witnessing the Dubai talent who was
Right.
so much keen for the Bollywood and has so much talent to express themselves. So I really enjoyed it, and this time I'm here to promote my show called Aakhri Sach. It's on Disney Hotstar, and it's based on a incident which shook the nation.
Right.
So it's based on that, and it's doing really well in India. And yesterday I met a couple of people, and they have watched the show in Dubai as well. So I'm really very excited and looking forward for that.
Shivin, whenever you take up a role, be it on television, be it on cinema, or now on OTT, how does the preparation for your character turn out for you as an individual?
Since I started, it's been 12 years. And now where we are, the world has changed. The cinema has changed. How people watch the shows and how people see actors, especially Indian actors, it's changed a lot. I would like to say especially after the COVID, the scenario changed. And now the people really watch that, okay, they're really very serious about it.
Right.
They have questions about it. We even get trolled if you're
I'm
not
sure,
honest
yeah.
to our work. So right now, as an actor also, it's a responsibility to get into the skin of the character. Be really very honest with your story, your look, your everything. So I guess that's what it's our responsibility also as an actor to represent to our audience. So if I'm talking about Aakhri Sach, this was, if I give a little introduction
Sure.
about the show. So it's based on a story where 11 people in a family died due to suicide. They committed suicide. 11 people in the family, which includes all the generations, like we can say grandfather generation.
So it's a comedy?
Yeah, it's not a comedy. It's not at all a comedy. But yeah, I can say life is a comedy
So I'm
because
just joking.
because
Yes.
if we see this kind of things in life,
True.
we'll say what is life is all about. So that's what it's about. It's really very dark and has a lot of depth to it, the story, and it's really intriguing. And so yeah, it is all about that and what happened and how the case is getting solved. And yeah, so it's all about that.
So when you say that, a story like this, when it presents to you, comes across for you, how do you make that selection that, you mentioned that it's dark, obviously 11 people dying.
Right.
It's a Burari case, right? So when something like this presents, do you think that, "Arey yaar, ye bahut dark hai, main nahi karunga"?
So the reason for me is this story is inspired from a incident in India which shook the nation. So itself, it's such a big thing. Everybody's talking about it, and not even in India, even outside India. It's whole world. There are very few cases like this in the world which happen. So if the story is based on that, and plus this is a fiction show, so what my character is bringing in the story and what role is my character is whatever my role he's carrying with himself, it's really very different. And this is a different point of view which people have not seen yet.
Interesting.
And this character is also very different because whatever shows I've done earlier also, like one of my show Veera is a big hit even in UAE, and Behat 2 is also, and some of my songs keep playing here. So yeah, but that image is really very different. It's like a
Right.
very commercial star, like a lover boy image. But after doing Aakhri Sach, obviously it was a challenge for
Big
me,
challenge,
and
yeah.
it's a responsibility also because to carry this kind of story with you and being honest with that is the biggest challenge.
A lot of actors do talk about how emotionally draining it can be to take on characters that have been through extreme trauma.
Right.
And this whole series, that from the characters and the people involved.
Right.
Did you feel that trying to get into the role and get into the character? Did you feel an emotional burden at the end of it?
To be honest, yes. Especially for this series, if I talk about, because I never imagined like this guy was supposed to marry a girl in that family and after 10 days they all committed suicide. He's in the middle of that situation. Police is after him, cops are after him, media is after him, and what his emotional state will be in that moment, that was the biggest challenge, because this is, you can't imagine something
True.
like this happening. So that was the biggest challenge. And as an actor also, I whatever I time I've spent with the character, and like I remember tomorrow if I'm shooting and today I'm just thinking that okay, this is the situation, I have to do this, but how?
Right.
It's how, like, how
Yeah,
can
you-
you imagine yourself in this kind of situation?
You actually you can't.
You can't. And for that, yes, it took a lot of preparation. It took a lot of, more than any preparation, I guess, the mindset was the biggest thing. And I remember in the last scene in the show, like Friday, tomorrow is the last episode. Is the last episode which is gonna telecast. So I remember when I was shooting for that, and there was a scene, a long scene, 18 minutes. I was just talking and telling my whole story and
Wow.
journey, and I just automatically start, like, tears start coming out of my eyes. And I guess with that scene I just ended it, that okay, because as a man you don't express
True,
much.
yeah.
So once you expressed it, it's all out. And personally also I felt okay, now my work is done, we have given all to it.
Brilliant, man. And I can totally imagine, like you mentioned, the burden of the character is then the burden of the actor.
Right.
And then to come out of it is also a challenge, I mean, you can't just once that you finish this emotionally draining scene, you're calling up your friends and saying, hey, you know what, let's catch up at Cafe Coffee Day.
Right.
You can't do that, right?
Especially with this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Usually when we talk about, like, when we shoot songs,
Oh, yeah. Then
like,
we're chilling.
if you go on the little lighter side,
Right.
and when we shoot songs and we are doing some like romantic scenes, and then the thing is different, because usually, like, when we're shooting for like a big song sequence,
Right.
there is a lot of fun, drama, a lot of you on the set also, there's like, we all know,
Fun
like,
and
it's like
laughter
it's
and
like
all,
a
yeah.
playground. Yeah.
True. Yeah, I was, you talk about the romantic scenes and everything.
Right.
I was watching an interview of Gulshan Grover.
Okay.
Okay. And he said he's touted as one of the biggest villains of Indian cinema. Fantastic human being, but one of the deadliest villains that Indian cinema has ever seen. He was supposed to do a romantic scene with Katrina Kaif, one of the prettiest girls of Bollywood, or rather India, I would say. He said that for me to work that scene was really challenging, probably one of the most difficult scenes, because I've never done a romantic scene. A
Right.
celebrated actor like Gulshan Grover saying that, to do romance, Katrina Kaif was the biggest challenge of my life. And he said that we did prep for that. We did rehearsals for the romantic scene.
Is he married? In
Gulshan
real
Grover?
life? Yeah.
He's married. I mean,
Okay.
he's quite
I'm
quite
just,
quite
I'm
a
just
senior.
wondering, because that might change the way you prepare for the role.
No, I mean, that's what he said. To prepare for the role, what I did was I did rehearsals with the same actress. I
over and over and over
till
again.
I got it right. So, I mean, one can definitely say that, it is all fun and dance while you're doing those easy roles, those comfortable roles. But
Right.
when it comes to some serious cinema, serious acting, it is demanding, it is challenging. What other challenges are coming up your way? What other shows or movies can we expect Shivin doing?
So right now it's as I told you that my last episode is gonna
Right.
telecast tomorrow, and for that I came to Dubai.
Awesome.
There was promotions going on, and it's always really lovely to meet people who really appreciate you, love you, because as an actor everything is secondary. The love from your audience
I
is
agree.
the biggest thing. And secondly, obviously, after that there are a lot of songs coming up. I'm known for a lot of music videos in India.
Right.
So Yaad Piya Ki Aane Lagi is one of the famous song,
True.
which is people know me. From
It's-
that song.
it's doing
so yeah, there
great
are
rounds now.
few songs coming up very soon, and I'm also shooting for one of the film. It's also in the zone of romantic plus thriller.
Okay.
So, but it's still, we are on the shooting space.
Okay.
On that stage. So it's coming next year. But for now, just Aakhri Sach is something which really looking forward with that.
This is amazing. There's one more thing that a lot of actors prepare these days, and that is on their physicality.
Right.
The body of a hero, as it's called. How many hours do you spend in the gym yourself, Shivin?
So for me, it varies. To be honest, I've always been a sports person. I was into national shooting. I was into athletics, and I've done a little bit of gymnastic. And so I remember when I was going to Khatro Ke Khiladi.
Right.
So it's a game show like Fear Factor.
Yeah.
So I remember I've spent like 4 hours in the gym, doing gymnastics, doing different kind of training. And sometimes you know that, okay, this what I'm shooting next,
Right.
whether it's a film or a show, this character doesn't require that much of physical strength, that kind of
Physicality,
posture,
true, yeah.
that muscles. So for an actor, I don't feel just making body or building your biceps is something which an actor should known for or
Right.
should look for. It's about the role. What role are you playing?
Makes
If I'm
sense.
playing a wrestler, obviously I need to look like a wrestler. I can't just go like a
True,
college
yeah.
boy and say, okay. So it depends. For me, it varies. But yes, health is something which you should take care. You should take care about your eating habits.
Nice.
About like, okay, you need to move your body in a like a certain way every day. So that's what important is. Walking, little bit of running, doing yoga if you can, or some stretching. I guess stretching is one of the best thing. So I do that regularly. But yeah, when I am shooting for something in which I require that, okay, I need abs or I need biceps, then I work it out and I know my body that, okay, within a certain period of time I can achieve it.
Well, mate, you're an inspiration. Thank you
Yeah,
very
yeah.
much for coming
Thank
in.
you so much.
And what an incredible series that you've been a part of. Aakhri Sach has got its final episode coming up soon on Disney Plus Hotstar. And you've been talking about your career, but we were talking about off air. You did once in one show play a radio announcer. That's why you look so comfortable here with the headphones on behind the microphone.
So yeah, there was a show called Internet Wala Love. So in that I was playing an RJ, and I can just try. Hey, welcome to Talk 100.3 FM. This is Shivin Narang, and I'm having a lot of fun. I'm here to promote my show called Aakhri Sach. I'm in Dubai, and for Dubai we can just say, I can just try.
Please.
Habibi, welcome to Dubai.
You passed the audition. Thank you very much. The final episode of Aakhri Sach is on Disney Plus Hotstar. Shivin Narang, thank you very much for coming into the studios. It's great to have you here in Dubai.
Same. Thank you so much, and it was lovely.
Talk